everyone, we are from Group 7 and we will present you about our final projects for final exam in coding and big data subject. So let's start it. First of all, let me introduce you our group member. We have 4 members. There are Arina Sabila Haq, Barik Maulana, Rio Pratnawijaya, and Thomas Agustian. And for the next sections will be explained by my other partners, Rio Pratnawijaya. So Rio, the time is yours.
So this is the table for the general information regarding COVID-19 cases in 16 countries, with the data of their population, total cases, total death, total recovered, people vaccinated, people fully vaccinated, and total vaccinations. To begin with, 16 countries are located in Southeast Asian or Asian countries themselves. These countries are Brunei, Cambodia, China, India, Indonesia, Iraq, Japan, Laos, Malaysia, Myanmar, Philippines, Singapore, South Korea, Thailand, Timor-Leste, and Vietnam. From this dataset, we have taken several salient pieces of information and given the visualization for it. According to the table, the total population of 16 countries is 3,705,916,157 people. Can be seen that the least populated country was Timor-Leste, with about 1,318,442 people. In contrast, China became the most populated country in Asia, with approximately 439,323,774 people, along with India as the second most populated country, which has 1,380,004,385 people. On the one hand, the total cases of COVID-19 have reached 23,631,038 cases. Furthermore, the most catastrophic country is India, which has 18,376,524 cases that occur in just a year. On the other hand, several countries have a total case of fewer than 3,000 cases. First of all, Brunei and Laos have a total case of COVID-19 with about 224 and 672 cases, respectively. Second of all, the total case of COVID-19 in Timor-Leste and Vietnam is just below 3,000, with around 2,190 and 2,910 cases accordingly. Moreover, this COVID-19 pandemic has taken 304,628 people from 16 countries within a year. According to the table, India has 204,832 people that passed away because they failed to survive COVID-19. However, we are very grateful that the total of recovered people is 82,270,646 people, as India has approximately half of the total recovered people. In this era, those countries have taken a lot of measures to overcome this issue by facilitating myriad citizens with vaccination. The total of vaccinations that have been executed is 437,540,237 times, which is divided into two groups, which are the group of people vaccinated and the group of people fully vaccinated. The total of each group is 14,765,172 and 35,870,065 people, respectively. So this is the visualization of the new cases in 16 countries. This is the monthly new cases for those countries. And according to the chart, all of the countries have the least case in January 2020. Between January 2020 and April 2021, India had the largest increase in new cases. 615,485 and 800%, while China had the largest decrease, which is 91.98%. The most recent new cases anomaly was in April 2021, when Thailand had a high of 34,707 cases. Moreover, Myanmar had the most interesting recent trend and started trending down in January 2021, falling by 97.64%, which is around 15,149 cases in just 3 months. Furthermore, the total of new cases between May 2020 and February 2021 fluctuated until they reached their highest peak in April 2021. It can be seen that India has the highest total of the newest cases among other nations, with about 18,376,524 cases, while Brunei has the least cases throughout the year, with approximately only 224 cases.
So this is the chart of total recovered people in 16 countries, and this is the total. And the highest position is India. The next is Vietnam, Japan, Indonesia, and Malaysia, and etc. And the accumulations of total recovered from 16 countries is 82,217,646 people across all 16 countries. The total recovered ranks from 7,660 to 42,557,495. It can be seen that India accounted for half of the total recovered, while Laos had the lowest total recovered at 7,660 citizens. Furthermore, Vietnam became the second country with the highest total recoveries, which had 9,320,591 recovered people, which was approximately to 20% of India's total recovered. Moreover, Malaysia and Japan had about the same quantities of recovered people with around 4 million citizens, besides Laos as the lowest total recovered. China and Timor-Leste had just about 3 times Laos total recovered, which is around 20,000 people. And the next is about the total deaths in 16 countries. This is the chart of total deaths in 16 countries, and for the light blue is for the Brunei, for the dark blue is for Cambodia, orange China, green India, pink Indonesia, Iraq, Japan, Malaysia, Myanmar, Philippines, Singapore, South Korea, Thailand, Timor Leste, and Vietnam. And according by this chart, we can conclude that India have had the highest total death until the April 2021 from the data that we got. And the most recent total death anomaly was in March 2020, when Singapore had a low of 25 victims, while the total deaths in China started trending down in January 2021, falling by 5.56%, around 8,275 people in 3 months. In addition, total death in China was trending up between April 2020 and December 2020, with a rise of 29,226 citizens, but had a significant change in trend and dropped by 8,275 starting on January 2021. In contrast, the total death in India escalates dramatically starting in June 2020. Yet the total of deaths in February 2021 showed a downward trend and rocketed over the last 2 months, reaching the highest peak in April 2021. On the other hand, Indonesia experienced a gradual surge within a year and reaches the highest total death in April 2021 as India experienced. And the next is about the vaccinated people in 16 countries, and this is the chart. And for the light blue bar is for the people vaccinated, and for the dark blue is for the people fully vaccinated. And this is the total of people vaccinated in general is almost 150 million people, and the highest total people vaccinated is on India. Okay, the conclusions is the accumulations of the total vaccinations from 16 countries is 427,540,237 people, and both of total of people vaccinated and the total of people fully vaccinated are positively correlated with each other. Moreover, the gap between the total of people vaccinated and the total of people fully vaccinated diverged the most when the total of people vaccinated was 63,114,107, higher than the total of people fully vaccinated. On the one hand, India had the highest total of vaccinated people with about 122,538,179 citizens, while Timor-Leste had the lowest total of vaccinated people with approximately 2,629 people. On the other hand, China had the highest total of fully vaccinated people, around 146,300 I'm sorry, 146 million 343,000 citizens. Nevertheless, several countries had none of the fully vaccinated peoples, such as Brunei, Iraq, Timor-Leste, and Vietnam until the data for the April 2021. Okay, for the next sections, will be explained by my other partners. So, thank you.
Okay, so this is the stringency index in 16 countries chart. So first, what is stringency index and what it is based for? What is from base for? The stringency index is a combined measure based on 9 response indicators. The 9 metrics used to calculate the stringency index are school closures, work, workplace closures, cancellation of public events, restriction on public gatherings, closure of public transport, stay-at-home requirements, public information campaigns, restriction on internal movements, and internal travel controls, scaled to a value from 0 to 100,000, which 100,000 is the strictest. So according to the chart, from all 16 countries with stringency index range from 33,321 to 57,660 between 2020 until 2022, China had the highest stringency index, which was at 57 uh, 57,660, followed by Philippines, which was at 57,455, and Myanmar, which was at 57,409. On the other hand, Japan had the lowest stringency index, which was at 35,321, followed by Timor, which was at 36,979, I'm sorry, and Brunei, which was at 39,408. And for comparison, China is 63.25% higher than Japan. Also, China accounted for 7.56% of stringency index from all 16 countries. So as we can see in the chart, China is the first for the highest, followed by Philippines in second, and Myanmar in the third. And for the lowest, Japan is the highest, followed by Timor in the second and Brunei in the third.
Okay, what happened in Indonesia? First, let's see the new case in Indonesia. See the graphic. Indonesia new case trend up, resulting in a 9,792.41% increase between March 2020 here and until 2021 April. So let's see the data. You can get the data. The lowest data is on the 2020 March. That is new case, the lowest new case in Indonesia, and the highest new case in Indonesia on the 2021 January. That is uh, 3 335,160 case uh, in January 2021. Okay, so let's see the death in Indonesia, total death in Indonesia. Let's see the graphic. You can explain this. Yeah, the month to month, the total death in Indonesia is always increase. Start from 2020 March until 2021 April. That is total death in Indonesia. Okay, vaccinated people in Indonesia. See the graphic here. Okay, the bar with mm, blue sea color is people fully vaccinated. That is people get dosis 2 and dosis 1 vaccinated, and the people vaccinated is blue navy color on the bar. Okay, start from 9 February 2021 until 28 April 2021. You can see this, the vaccinated in Indonesia is always increased. That's good because vaccinated is the most important thing for keep your body to fighting COVID-19 virus in your body. Uh, Almost uh, 1.9 million people in Indonesia getting vaccinated in 16 days between March to March here until April 10 April here. That is almost 1.9 million people getting vaccinated in Indonesia.
So, how to manage vaccination in Indonesia? Nowadays, Indonesia has conducted three vaccination programs, including the first dose vaccine and the second dose vaccine with the addition of a booster vaccine. Based on the decree of the Minister of Health, the seven vaccines to be used by Indonesia are those produced by PT Bio Farma, AstraZeneca, Sinopharm, Moderna, Novavax, Pfizer or BioNTech, and Sinovac. The Indonesian Islamic Clerical Council or MUI also declared that several vaccines including Sinovac, Sinopharm, AstraZeneca are halal or allowed under Islamic law. That is to make sure that everyone will perform vaccination without feel anxious. To execute this, the Indonesian government has distributed and carried out mass vaccination to remote areas. The first dose of vaccination has been injected to 108 89.69 million people, while the second vaccination has been injected as much as 146 million niche. Last but not least, the third vaccination, or we call it as a booster, have been injected to 40.37 million times to people in general. All that effort is to hold down fatal consequences that can be caused by COVID-19 and to reach the vaccination rate to sufficient numbers so that herd immunity or communal immunity occurred. And for the last part is the conclusion. So as we already know that COVID-19 first case was started since 2019 in Wuhan, China, and WHO or World Health Organization was declared that coronavirus or COVID-19 outbreak global pandemic in March 9, 2020. Regarding this pandemic, we could gather lots of information to be used in the upcoming plan to overcome this catastrophic situation. Ultimately, there is various important information that can be taken from the overall data on COVID-19 cases in 16 countries, starting from the latest cases, total death, total recovery, and vaccination data, including the data of people vaccinated and people fully vaccinated, that can assist myriad citizens to understand the impact of COVID-19 and various ways of handling it. Thank you.